This is a mandarin, and this is a mandarin, and this is also a mandarin. These are three different varieties of mandarin. I believe I've only had this one before. This one I got from the supermarket, and it was sold as a Clementine. And these two are rare varieties of mandarin. This here is the Vietnamese flying saucer mandarin, and this one here is the Owari Satsuma. Yeah, the thing with mandarins is when people hear that word, a lot of times they think of one particular thing, often like a clementine. But actually mandarin refers to several different citrus fruits, not just the clementine, also tangerines are technically mandarins, satsumas are mandarins, some weird ones, even like large fruits can be a mandarin. I know a lot of times people think they gotta be tiny. Not always the case. There's another one called the pumpkin, which I reviewed in the past. Those things are really, really big. Also considered to be a mandarin. This is a type of fruit that refers to many, many different citruses. They have similar qualities with each other because they have some of the same parentage in them, but they can be different varieties and sometimes even different species. They can be a hybrid of different citrus fruits to create a mandarin. And yeah, I'm going to talk more about that in future episodes, but today I'm excited to try three varieties, one that I've had before and two that I haven't. And the two that I haven't were sent to me by the Monterey Bay chapter of the California Rare Fruit Growers Organization. They normally have an annual citrus tasting, but because as I shoot this it is early 2021, that means COVID is happening right now, so group gatherings can't happen. They weren't able to have their tasting event, so in order to have a sort of tasting, they were kind enough to send me a bunch of citruses to review here for you guys on the channel. I really like mandarins, so I'm excited to try these and see how they compare to the ones that you get from a supermarket. So let's cut them open. Okay, so first I'll cut open the supermarket variety, which was sold as a clementine. Let's cut them this way because it looks cooler that way. Get a nice cross section. This appears to be a seedless variety, no seeds in there. Next we'll cut the Vietnamese flying saucer mandarin. And honestly, I was not able to find any information about this one online, so I'm guessing that this is from Vietnam, or maybe it's from outer space. I don't really know. It's not a seedless variety. And finally, the Owari Satsuma. Now, I've had Satsumas before. I've had the Satsumas that you get in New Orleans. This does not look like one of those. So I'm guessing this is a different variety of Satsuma. It's not the type that you get in Louisiana. Also appears to be a seedless variety, and it looks very juicy in there. Okay, first as a control group, let's start with the ones that you get at a supermarket. Tastes like a mandarin, as you would expect it to taste, but it, to break down the sweetness and sourness on it, it is quite sweet. Sweeter than an orange. I would give that a 6 out of 10. The tartness on it is, I'd say it's around an orange, maybe a little bit less, so maybe a 4 out of 10. And it's good. It's good. I'm guessing that you've probably had a mandarin before. Imagine something that's like an orange, but less. It's not so harsh. It's more of a sweet, syrupy kind of flavor. Maybe a touch of like a honey sort of note to it. But how about one from outer space? Let's try the Vietnamese flying saucer. It's definitely different. Tartness on that is more than an orange. I'd give it maybe a 6. And the sweetness on it, I'd say it's about the same. It tastes like there's like a little bit of grapefruit in there. It's not bitter, but a little bit of the flavor note of like a sweet grapefruit. If you don't like fruit that's very sour, this might not be the one for you. But if you do, then you'll like this one. Definitely packs a punch. I tend to like sour fruit, so for me, eating one of these just as it is sounds like a good time to me. Alright, so finally, the Owari Satsuma. The Owari Satsuma is very easy peeling. I didn't even try peeling these, but it already kind of like popped right out, which is how Satsumas are, how other Satsumas are. Sweetness, still the same, around a 6. Tartness is around the tartness of an orange. And the flavor is also kind of like an orange. It's like if you took the mandarin and an orange and mixed them. It's like the Satsuma that you get in the southern United States, but if you just like turned up the volume a bit on it. It's much more concentrated in flavor, but smaller. So maybe it's more like if you took one of those and kind of like packed all the flavor of one big one into a small little bite of fruit. So I do like it better, but it's the sort of thing like you would have to eat a whole bunch of them because they're really, really tiny. Out of curiosity, I'm also going to try the rinds of these. Sometimes citruses have rinds that are not bitter, and sometimes they are very, very bitter, but they are edible, so let's give it a try. This is the supermarket variety. Don't want to eat that one. Kind of tastes like soap. Next, the Vietnamese flying saucer. Less like soap, but still kind of like soap. And finally, the Owari Satsuma. Sweet. Well, maybe not sweet, but not as bitter. It has a little bit, but it's actually not so bad. Dare I say, those things are small, but you could probably eat them like a kumquat. It's not quite as good as a kumquat, the rind I mean, and the flavor on the inside is quite strong, so it covers up that bitterness. And they're seedless, so you could just like pop those in your mouth as is, and that would be pretty good just like that. I wouldn't want to do that with any other mandarin that I've had before, but with that one, the flavor and the size too, it works. If I were to pick a favorite out of the three here, I would go with the Vietnamese flying saucer. It just has more of a strength to it, and then I would go with the Owari Satsuma, definitely very, very good, and then I would go with the supermarket variety. My initial taste of the supermarket mandarin was very positive. I took a bite out of it like, wow, that's really tasty. I'd be happy with that. But then I tried the other two, and then went back to this one, and you could really tell the difference. It's fine. It's totally fine, but it doesn't have that same sort of freshness to it. You know, it doesn't have that same sort of strength to it. So I think that's all I have to say today about mandarins. Once again, thank you so much to the Monterey Bay chapter of the California Rare Fruit Growers Organization, and I will be back in the future with more fruit that they sent to me, so I will see you then. I would like to give a shout out to Smarter Every Day, AltPod, and the Harvard Lee Tea Company. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. If you haven't heard of it, patreon.com it's how this channel happens. It's how I can afford to keep this YouTube channel going. So if you haven't checked it out, please take a moment to go into the description below and click the link there. I also have t-shirts for sale over at my web store. A link to that is in the description as well. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.